What's up? Welcome back to an AEW Dynamite review. This one is for March the 24th, 2021. And this was a solid episode of Dynamite, to put it short. Solid episode. Most of the matches were pretty good. They were good to great. The opening match was arguably the best match of the night. That was match of the night to a lot of people, and that was Matt Sydal challenging Kenny Omega, the AEW World Heavyweight Champ. And this match was a doozy. Perfect match to open up. We're going to go jump to much later in the match. Sydal hits his lightning spiral, and he got a near fall for that. Sydal later goes for a Meteora, but this was probably the best spot of the match. Sydal goes for a Meteora, but Omega catches him by the knees, and then he turns that into a buckle bomb and followed it up with a V-trigger, and he got a near fall for that. Sydal then meets the one-winged angel for his troubles, and he gets the loss. Omega picks up the win, and it was a great match. The sequence at the end left me and a lot of people a bit shook. That was quite the near fall. People almost thought that Sydal was going to get the pin over Omega, and that probably would have sent Twitter in a storm. And I don't know if it would have been for the best, because a lot of people argue that the champion should not be pinned, period. The champion should not be losing on TV. We didn't have to worry about that because Omega did not lose, and it was a great match to start the show. We followed that up with Hangman Adam Page versus Cesar Bononi. And this was a pretty short match, mostly a showcase for Page to keep him on his roll, on his win streak. Page has not lost a match yet, and when he is on the show, he is usually not losing. And I feel sorry for whomever is his opponent. But Bononi looked good in the brief amount of time we saw him. Page wins via a buckshot lariat. Decent match, decent little short match. Then we had possibly one of the promos of the night. Britt Baker, interviewed by Tony Schiavone on the entrance ramp. Britt says Thunder Rosa should be thanking her because she'll be remembered now. She doesn't need admiration from her peers. She got admirations from the likes of Drew McIntyre of WWE, Mick Foley, a lot of other folks that you might know and love. But she called out one in particular, Mick Foley. She says that she put AEW on the map, and the three letters AEW comes second to DMD. Great promo. Healing it up, even though people enjoyed that match. They were praising that match. They were praising both Britt and Rosa, Thunder Rosa. But they were mostly talking about Britt, mainly because most of us know that Thunder Rosa can go in the ring. She already got her dues. We know she's good, but not many people expected much from Britt Baker. So therefore, she's being talked about the most. And it's for the best. She is definitely upped her game since she turned heel. Back on the Jericho cruise last year, believe it or not. Early 2020, January, was a Jericho cruise last year. That seems like ages ago, but what transpired since. Britt was also wearing a some red flannel tied around her waist as well. So there was another ode to Mick Foley there that most of us did not notice until after the promo. Following that up, we had Christian Cage in the backstage segment. He was talking to the Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman and Griff Garrison, along with Dante Martin. Then out of nowhere, Frankie Kazarian walks up, of SCU fame, gets into Christian's face, and basically both have a match set up between one another for next week. It's going to be Christian Cage versus Frankie Kazarian, and that should be a great match because these two know each other. They went at each other back in TNA, and they haven't had a match since 2007, I believe. So that should be good. And I do think Christian Cage is going to go over in that match, but both will look good in the process, win or lose. Then we get into the match. FTR and Shawn Spears of the Pinnacle faction, their first match together, versus Dante Martin of Top Flight and the Varsity Blondes. This was a nice match, but we all knew who was going to win this. The Pinnacle win, of course. Post-match, Wardlow knees down Pillman from the top rope, and the Pinnacle speaks. Cash says that they aren't just a group, they're family. Dak says he would die for these guys. He doesn't have a family. I mean, he doesn't have kids at home, etc. So those guys are his family. Then you have MJF speak as well. Overall, everyone in this involved in this segment hit it out the park. Good stuff. We followed that up with a Team Taz segment. This show is very promo heavy, moving along a lot of stories, which is nice. A nice change of pace. Team Taz says everything is good. Well, mainly Taz says so. And it seems Brian Cage has made amends of what he said last week. But everyone there seemed reluctant to admit that things were not okay. But especially Ricky Starks. He had a sarcastic way that he said, way that he responded. So all is not well in Team Taz. And I do think that Brian Cage is going to depart sooner or later. Then we follow that up with a QT Marshall segment. He says he wants a match with Cody. And Cody did come out later during this interview with Tony Schiavone. He came out with his arm in a sling, but no one made mention of that. Cody is going to be in an exhibition match with QT Marshall while his arm is in a sling. Cody is not right. He is not healthy enough for this match. QT is going to take advantage of him. Cody said that he is not going to hurt QT. He's going to take it easy on him. It's just going to be an exhibition match. But I think shenanigans will be afoot. Oh, and by the way, Arn Anderson will be the special guest referee for the match. So this will be a first for AEW. Following that up, we had the Young Bucks, the AEW World Tag Champs, with Brian Cutler versus the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid. Laredo Kid is making his second appearance in AEW. His return. He was last seen at 2019's Fyter Fest. That was almost a year ago. No, almost 2 years ago. So he was a welcome sight. Laredo Kid is great. This match was good. Of course, the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid win this match via a pin to Brandon Cutler. Laredo Kid got the pin. Post-match, Omega beats down Laredo Kid in the back of the head with a mic, I believe. He says that the Bucks have one more chance to two-sweet him. The Bucks didn't, and Omega gets his comeuppance afterwards via the Lucha Brothers, the package pile driver tandem move that they do. It was good stuff. The baby faces don't look dumb in AEW. The heels usually get their comeuppance, and I like it. Then we follow that up with a women's match. We had Nyla Rose taking on number 1 ranked Ty Conti. Ty wins it finally. She lost her previous 2 bouts against Nyla Rose, but Ty wins via a DDT to Nyla Rose, and it looked great. It was basically a hammerlock DDT. Nyla Rose sold it perfectly, and it was good stuff. I enjoyed Ty Conti's intensity, and she has been getting better each and every time we've seen her. Love her. She is on the up and up, and she is most likely due a title match against Hikaru Shida soon enough. Who knows? Maybe they'll give the belt to Conti. We'll see. Post-match, Nyla attacks Ty Conti, and she gets her heat back. And Shida comes out. Yakuza Shida, wearing her white suit, comes out to save Conti via her kendo stick. She gave Nyla a shot to the back with this. But not long after, Allie, the bunny, shows up of the Butcher and Blade fame. She makes her presence felt as she beats down Shida as well. So this in turn creates a matchup for next week on Dynamite. It'll be Tai Conti and Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose and the bunny, Allie. Then we follow this up with the main event of the night, the second best match of the night. And that is John Silver challenging Darby Allin, the TNT champion. This was good stuff. Mid-match, Sting comes out to fend off the Dark Order. I was confused by this because it's not like the Dark Order were posing a threat to Darby. They aren't heels. Neither is Darby, but Sting kind of came off as one here. Later, Darby coffin drops onto all of the Dark Order on the outside. This is great because the camera just stayed on Darby as they should. If you're going to do a dive on top of a bunch of guys on the outside, keep the camera on the guy performing the move until he leaps off of the ropes onto the guys on the outside. That just makes it look better. So hopefully they continue to do that moving forward, because there are a lot of spots like this in AEW that could use this camera angle. There's no need to switch camera angles. Just keep the camera on that one guy and let them do their stuff. Simple. And it looked good here. Darby later wins via a sunset flip reversal to Silver's Brody Bomb tribute attempt. That's a heel move if I ever saw one. Reversing that move. Jeez, Darby. Post-match, Matt Hardy drags Darby outside the ring and all hell breaks loose. A brawl ensues. Even Tai Conti gets involved in the action as she beats down Nyla Rose, etc. on the outside. And they may have rushed that ending there, but hopefully not. Hopefully they didn't. But I thought it was a solid episode of Dynamite, and it was good stuff. The ratings are on the up as well. I believe Dynamite AEW had 757,000 viewers to NXT 678,000. Thanks for listening and watching, and I will catch you with the next review. Peace.